Like, how on earth was it approached? Did they all make a group chat? Like, what is going on? How did they even organize it? Like, what an awkward group chat that must be. Can you imagine? Like, hey, I'm looking to punish my girlfriend in the most evil way possible. Can we do that tonight? Like, are you free? Like, yeah, BYO birth control. See you there. This genuinely feels like a Shakespearean act. It feels like it's right out of like ancient Rome or something. Alright, so I'm a massive fan of reality TV, and this week I feel like I saw the most uncomfortable scene of reality TV ever. The show in question today is Australia's Married at First Sight. So for those of you who don't know, the basic premise of the show is two strangers who have never met before get married and basically move in together, live together, and do all things that couples do. And the show's basically designed for viewers at home to kind of laugh and enjoy the drama and chaos that ensues. And in the first couple of weeks of Married at First Sight, this social experiment, the appointed relationship experts give these couples different tasks in order to get to know each other. The relationship experts pretend that these tasks really have a deep meaning in order to accelerate the relationship timeline for these strangers.
The letter writing task is a test of our couple's ability to be open with their communication.
But really, they're just designed to cause as much chaos as possible. I mean, what on earth is the advantage to gain a new partner of yours to rank the attractiveness of a circle of friends around you? Spoiler alert, there really isn't one.
Oh, you know that. I haven't seen these girls without makeup on either, and I've seen you without makeup on. You have the potential to be put over here. You also have the potential just to like level up.
But one of the tasks is the letter writing task. In the letter writing task, basically one member of the new couple has to write to the other member of the new couple. In the letter, there needs to be a confession of a deep secret or a deep truth or just something about them that they feel like their new spouse has to know. Now, typically these confessions include some deep-seated childhood traumas. Maybe people have struggled with their weight or eating disorders or abuse in their past. And honestly, sometimes the confessions can be pretty lame. But one of the most promising couples of this season so far, Eden and Jayden, were giving this task. And so far, this couple, compared to other couples, has been completely hitting it off. Jayden seems really emotionally intelligent and Eden seems really ready to fall in love with again, so what could go wrong? So leading up to this episode, I was really curious because all the promos started going, what did Jayden say? What was Jayden's deep, dark confession? And I was like, this is surely overblown. It surely isn't this bad. This show and its promotional material has a massive habit of being like shocking secrets, shocking revelation, and all it ends up being really is pretty typical high school drama. But genuinely, nothing could prepare me for his confession. The only other thing you need to know about Jayden and Eden before we get into this story is that when Eden was younger, she had a long-term boyfriend who cheated on her with her best friend. So she lost both her best friend and her boyfriend in one hit, and it's trauma that she's never really recovered from, and it's led to serious trust issues. So now that we know that, brace yourself for Jayden's confession. So basically, Jayden's talking to the camera and he's going, yeah, look, like, I'm really nervous about this confession. I'm really nervous about what I have to tell her. I hope she takes it well. I mean, who knows?
Maybe the first thing she finds out about my past, she finds out about some things that I've done. I don't know how to get around.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, is it that he's cheated when he was younger? Or maybe used to do porn? Maybe he had a serious nude leak scandal? Like, what could it be? But again, I'm telling you, nothing could prepare me for what his confession was. He then sits her down and says, hey, so I've got my confession ready. And if we can get through this, we can get through anything. At this point, I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck, like this might be really bad. But so far, Jayden's been so sweet, so emotionally understanding and like well-rounded. What could this be? And then he tells this story where each moment I'm sitting there waiting for it to be over, going, surely it's not going to get worse than this, and it just keeps getting worse. So the story is as follows. He sits Eden down, someone who has been cheated on, and when they cheated, it was with her best friend. And then he goes, hey, so in my previous relationship, I was cheated on multiple times. I had multiple guys coming up and telling me that they were sleeping with my girlfriend. And eventually I had enough and I confronted my girlfriend about it and was talking to her about ending the relationship. And then I said the only way that I would stay with her is if I slept with her best friend. So already I was like, oh my God.
My ex-girlfriend cheated on me. She was going on dinner dates, movie dates, and I even had guys openly admit to me in person that they had slept with her. I told her that I was willing to give her another chance. I'm gonna sleep with her best friend.
I was just hoping that the story ended there, but it kept going. It kept fucking going. Just cut it there, like that was a pretty dark moment of you, but surely like it ended there. But no, he keeps going and it gets worse. He essentially reveals that he got his girlfriend to go along with this. He reached out to multiple of her friends until he found one that agreed. But then when he finally got a friend to agree with it, not only did he sleep with the friend, but he made his girlfriend watch him do that. Insane. My jaw was on the floor.
I'm gonna sleep with her best friend while she watches. One of her friends agreed to do it. So after a little bit of chatting for a few days, it happened.
This is an absolutely wild confession. There is so much to get into here. So much to get into here. I have so many questions. I could not believe what I was watching unfold to me live on TV. Like, genuinely a psychopathic admission. A Machiavellian level confession. Such a villainous thing to admit. Like, sociopathic behavior. And the thing is, I get being hurt. I get having some like really fucked up thoughts in that moment. Like the fact that he actually committed to it, acted it out, and made his girlfriend watch, and is now admitting this on live TV. There's so much to get into here. Like, where do we even start? I actually don't know. I think we're going to go character by character. So there are 3 people in this situation we need to talk about. There's the best friend of the girlfriend, there's the girlfriend, and then there's Jayden. So let's go character by character. So, for the best friend, why on earth did the best friend admit to this? Did the best friend want to sleep with Jayden the whole time they were together and then like jumped at the opportunity when it was presented to her? Also, who presented it to her? Was it Jayden? Did Jayden go up to her and go, hey, my girlfriend's been cheating on me. Can you help me get back at her and get fucked by me in front of her? Like, is that how it was approached? Or did the girlfriend approach her best friend and say, hey, I've fucked up with Jayden. I've been cheating on him. And he says the only way he'll stay with me is if you help me out and get fucked by him in front of me. Like, can you do that for me? Like, help a sister out. Otherwise, I won't be able to stay with Jayden. Like, how on earth was it approached? Did they all make a group chat? Like, what is going on? How did they even organize it? Like, what an awkward group chat that must be. Can you imagine? Like, hey, I'm looking to punish my girlfriend in the most evil way possible. Can we do that tonight? Like, are you free? Like, yeah, BYO birth control. See you there. So on some level, the best friend must have already wanted to sleep with Jayden at least a bit. Like, was it something like Jayden and her always had some weird sus flirty thing going on, and now that the girlfriend cheated, had an opportunity to act on it? But the thing is, it sounds like he presented it to multiple of her friends. So it's like, what is going on? Like, were multiple of the friends potential candidates for this fucked up villainous act? Like, as a couple, how did Jayden and his ex-girlfriend feel comfortable approaching multiple of her friends and then think they were going to be able to have any normal relationship after that? Like, just end it, bro. What are you doing? Next, we have the girlfriend. So obviously, the girlfriend's not innocent here. She has cheated on Jayden multiple times, clearly hurt him, clearly unlocked some inner demons in Jayden that really should have stayed buried. How does she feel okay with cheating on him multiple times, but then is so committed that she'll sign up to be humiliated in such a dramatic fashion? Like, Jesus. And yes, like, brief disclaimer, are there people that like cuckold and sleep with other people in front of other people for like sexual gratification and as like a kink and a turn on? Like, absolutely yes. But my issue with that theory here is that the way Jayden looks back on it, the way he confesses it, and the way he talks about it, it isn't that at all. It isn't like, oh, it was some fun thing, I always wanted to sleep with her and we all got on board and it was just a weird thing we did. Like, no. The way he quotes this story is like, I wanted to punish her. I wanted to make her feel like shit, and this was the easiest way to do it, and I look back on it and yeah, like, it was a pretty wild thing I did. He knows on some level that it was a really disturbed thing, and I think that's the thing that's keeping me up at night about this situation, is the fact that it was coming from such a dark, vengeful, vindictive place. Like, how do you have a relationship with someone who's done this before? And on top of that, he then later says that he doesn't regret it. Like, Jesus, dude.
Do you regret that though?
I don't regret it.
I feel like that's just so triggering for me because of my situation, which you already know about, but yeah. The do you regret it response was probably more concerning to me than the actual story. Like, the story was gross and I didn't like it at all, but he didn't seem to regret it. That was the concerning part.
You right?
Yeah, I just want to go sit by myself.
Because it would have been one thing if he did this whole confession and then he said, I deeply regret it. She put me in such a dark, twisted place and I just wanted to hurt her the best way I could. And this girl always had her eye on me and we were always kind of flirting. I look back on who I used to be when I was 18, 19. I just can't believe I did that. And I just thought I should let you know because I have such guilt about it. But that's not where he's coming from. Because when Eden, his current wife, asks if he regrets it, he flat out goes, no. Like, I think he's kind of proud. I think he's glad he did it. And that's the most disturbing part. There's been no growth. And I just can't stop thinking about it. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. And here's the thing. It gets darker. I assume this was a relatively long-term relationship in order for his girlfriend to cheat multiple times and for him to be hearing about it, right? Which means that when he signed up and went on Married at First Sight and this show started airing, people were probably messaging her and going, hey, Jayden's on maths. Your ex-boyfriend's on maths. Which means that potentially this really private, disturbing, embarrassing story for his ex-girlfriend, something something that's deeply humiliating has now been broadcast to the entire state. So all her friends probably know about it. All her family probably knows about it. Like, people are probably talking to her about it all the time and being like, hey, was this you and Jayden? Oh my God. If she was seriously like emotionally manipulated into doing it and just like went, oh, anything to get Jayden back, let's just keep it a secret. He's gone on TV and now told all of Australia their deep, dark, dirty, horrific secret. And his ex-girlfriend's clearly the victim in this situation, but it's this thing of like, now she has to admit to people like, yeah, I let myself be treated like that. I wanted to fix the wrong I did so bad and wanted to please Jayden so bad that I did something so humiliating and degrading. It just comes from such a dark, twisted place. Like, this genuinely feels like a Shakespearean act. It feels like it's right out of like ancient Rome or something. It feels like Medea levels of like calculated relationship-based horror. It feels like something that's reserved for like royal scandals of like, oh, the king cheated on me, so therefore I'm gonna fuck the servant in front of him and make him feel like shit. Like, that'll show him. It's horrific. And I was staring at the roof after watching this episode, just going over. I had so many questions. I was like, who said yes first? Like, you know, was the girlfriend looking sad the whole time, or was she pretending to be interested and enjoy it? Did the best friend know that this was some weird fucked up punishment, or had Jayden told her that it was like a fun threesome thing that they all agreed to? Like, I'm just so curious. It's just so messed up. And I can't look at Jayden the same. And I don't know how Eden is going to have a successful relationship with him. You know the end of Gone Girl where he finds out everything that Amy Dunn has done to all the previous men in her life, and then he sits there in horror, stroking the cat, locking the doors before he goes to sleep, and sitting in an armchair instead of going to sleep because he's so scared of what the woman living in his house could do? That would be me if I was in Eden's situation. Like, how on earth does she sleep next to this guy ever again? I would just be so worried if I was Eden that if I even slipped up slightly, he would just be like DMing all my friends being like, hey, unfortunately, she yelled at me this morning, so would you want to maybe have sex in front of her? Yeah. I cannot stop thinking about this, and the Instagram comments have been fantastic. Basically, people saying like, the FBI couldn't get this confession out of me. What the fuck? Why would you ever tell that to someone? Take it to the grave.
My ex-girlfriend cheated on me. She was going on dinner dates, movie dates. And
I agree. Like, unless he was really going to repent and be sorry about it, like, I don't think she needed to know, dude. It's too much. It's genuinely too much. We all know honesty is the best policy, but in this case, absolutely not. Leave it, take it to the grave. Another funny thing is that when he got on this show, he talked smack about his brother. He was like, yeah, my brother's a bit emotionally disconnected. You know, he's a bit of an idiot, and I'm not like my brother at all. It's like, yeah, dude, you're so much worse. How on earth were you giving shit to your brother when this is what you've done in your past? Like, Jesus. And on top of that, going into the show, his biggest concern was like, oh, I hope she doesn't judge me because I'm a kickboxer. It's like, that's what you were scared about being judged about? That's like, dude. And then he's so scared of being judged. Why on earth would he not say he regrets it? Like, he literally was like, yeah, nah, I don't regret it. Nah. Yeah, I stand by it. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm walking around all the time, just so many questions. You know, what did they say when this was done? Did the girlfriend go, hey, thanks, bestie, for helping us out. Now I can have my boyfriend back. That was really good. Like, what were the conversations after? Like, does this girl talk to that girl anymore? Like, I need to know. I need more information. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm doing weekly recaps of Married at First Sight as it goes on, so there'll be a new one for this week soon. Thank you so much for watching.